In music, some voices stand out as truly exceptional, and Karen Carpenter's was undoubtedly one of them. Alongside her brother Richard, she formed the beloved duo the Carpenters. However, her untimely passing at the tender age of 32 sent shockwaves through the music world. Today, we delve into the life and legacy of this extraordinary talent, Karen Carpenter, alongside never-before-seen images of the songstress. Karen Carpenter was born on March 2, 1950 in New Haven, Connecticut. Her parents were Agnes Rewer and Harold Bertram Carpenter. At a young age, Karen's brother Richard had a special talent for playing the piano, to the point where he was considered a prodigy, and this musical instinct soon rubbed off on Karen. At 14 years old, her family moved to Downey, Los Angeles, where she started attending high school. She joined the school marching band to avoid gym class. The band conductor Bruce Gifford first gave her the glockenspiel, an instrument she wasn't too fond of. However, after watching her friend Frankie Chavez, a fantastic drummer, Karen decided she wanted to drum like him. Karen taught herself to play intricate drum lines, studied various drumming styles, and practiced diligently daily. Within a year, she could handle complex time signatures like the 5/4 beat in David Brubeck's Take 5. To take her drumming skills to the next level, she began studying with Bill Douglas, a respected jazz drummer who had played with legends like Benny Goodman and Art Tatum. Soon, she upgraded to a professional drum kit. Karen graduated from Downey High School in 1967. Then she enrolled as a music major at Long Beach State, where she sang in the college choir alongside her brother Richard. Karen didn't stop at drumming. She started singing too. She was a born pop singer. At 17 years old, Karen Carpenter had become a musical force, taking her journey to even greater heights when she joined her brother Richard to form the iconic duo the Carpenters. The pair's first public performance was in a local musical production called Guys and Dolls by Frank Loesser. In 1965, Karen, Richard, and one of Richard's college buddies, Wes Jacobs, who played bass and tuba, got together to form the Dick Carpenter Trio. They were serious about their music, rehearsing daily and performing jazz in nightclubs. Karen was the main drummer at this point, and a singer named Margaret Shanner sometimes joined them for vocals. They even signed a contract with RCA Records and recorded 2 instrumental tracks, which were never released. In April 1966, the Carpenters auditioned with bassist Joe Osborne, a member of the famous studio musician collective known as the Wrecking Crew. Initially, Karen was expected to be just a drummer, but she surprised everyone by singing. Joe Osborne was so impressed with her voice that he signed her to his label Magic Lamp Records without Richard. And in 1969, A&M Records recognized their talent and signed them to a recording contract. As the drummer and co-lead singer, Karen Carpenter played a crucial role in the band. The first album, titled Ticket to Ride, featured Karen singing most of the songs. Her brother Richard wrote 10 of the 13 songs on the album and sang on 5. Karen showcased her versatility by playing bass guitar on 2 songs, All of My Life and Eve, under the guidance of Joe Osborne. One track, Ticket to Ride, originally a Beatles song, became the Carpenters' first single, reaching number 54 on the Billboard Hot 100. Their next album, Close to You, in 1970 brought them greater success with 2 hit singles, which peaked at number 1 and number 2 respectively on the Hot 100. A unique challenge arose for Karen due to her height, standing at just 5 feet 4 inches, making it harder for the audience to see her behind her drum kit during live shows. To address to this, her brother Richard and manager Sherwin Bash convinced her to step up to the microphone to sing while another musician played the drums. However, Karen initially struggled with singing solo in live performances because she felt more secure behind the drum kit. As time passed, the albums tended to feature Karen singing more and drumming less. In the mid-1970s, their journey faced challenges as Richard Carpenter battled addiction to Quaaludes. This led to tour cancellations and eventually the halt of touring altogether after their September 4, 1978 concert at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. However, in 1980, Karen had a memorable duet with Ella Fitzgerald on the Carpenters' television program, Music, Music, Music. They briefly returned to the stage and promotional tours in 1981 after releasing their album Made in America. The song Now was the last one Karen recorded in April 1982, and despite concerns about her health, her voice remained as exceptional as ever. In 1967, Karen released her first solo single titled Looking for Love, limited to only 500 copies in circulation. Fast forward to 1979 when Richard took a year off to address his addiction issues. During this time, Karen was eager to create another solo album and teamed up with producer Phil Ramone. The result was music that took a departure from the typical Carpenter style, focusing on disco and up-tempo tracks. However, when the album was presented to Richard and A&M executives in early 1980, it received an adverse reaction. As a result, A&M Records co-owner Herb Alpert decided to shelve the album entirely, despite efforts by producer Quincy Jones to persuade him to release it with a fresh remix. A small portion of the solo album saw the light of day in 1989 when Richard remixed some of its tracks, including them on the album Love Lines. Finally, in 1996, the complete solo album, simply titled Karen Carpenter, was released. During the course of her life, Karen dated several notable individuals, including Mike Curb, Tony Danza, Terry Ellis, Mark Harmon, Steve Martin, and Alan Osmond. However, her path to marriage took an unexpected turn when she quickly fell in love and tied the knot with real estate developer Thomas James Burris on August 31, 1980. Their wedding took place in the Crystal Room of the Beverly Hills Hotel. Burris, who had been previously married and had an 18-year-old son, was 9 years older than Karen. Burris had undergone a vasectomy and was unwilling to undergo a reversal procedure. This aspect strained their relationship significantly. Unfortunately, their marriage lasted only 14 months and was marked by reported abuse towards Karen. In 1981, the couple separated and Karen Carpenter filed for divorce on October 28, 1982 while she was in Lenox Hill Hospital. Karen Carpenter's struggles with weight and health issues were the saddest part of her life story. She started dieting in high school following the Stillman diet, which consisted of lean foods, plenty of water, and avoiding fatty foods. This regimen brought her weight down to 120 pounds until 1973 when her career with the Carpenters peaked. However, Karen grew with her appearance when she saw a concert photo that made her look heavy. To change her physique, she hired a personal trainer who recommended dietary changes. Surprisingly, this led to muscle gain instead. Displeased with the results, Karen dismissed the trainer and embarked on her own weight loss journey by closely monitoring her calorie intake. She lost around 20 pounds and aimed for more weight loss. Her new eating habits involved offering food to others to remove it from her plate. By 1975, Karen's weight had dropped significantly to just 6 stone 7 pounds. Concerned fans reached out to her, but she chose not to acknowledge any health issues publicly. Karen eventually confided in her brother Richard, expressing her need for help with anorexia. She sought treatment from psychotherapist Stephen Levincron in New York City. In the 1980s, Karen turned to thyroid replacement medication to boost her metabolism and used laxatives to expedite the passage of food. Things took a turn for the worse as her condition deteriorated further, and in September 1982, she was admitted to the Lenox Hill Hospital in New York and placed on an intravenous drip. While this treatment initially helped her regain weight, it strained her heart. Nevertheless, she managed to maintain a stable weight for the remainder of her life. On January 11, 1983, Karen made her final public appearance among past Grammy Award winners, appearing frail but displaying a positive attitude. She tragically passed away on February 4, 1983, after collapsing in her bedroom at her parents' home because her heart was beating at a remarkably slow rate. Her repeated use of ipecac syrup, an over-the-counter emetic used to induce vomiting, contributed to her heart failure. Her untimely death marked the end of a remarkable career and a deeply personal battle with anorexia. Despite her struggles, Karen Carpenter's life remains a source of inspiration for countless artists and fans. From her incredible musical talents as part of the iconic Carpenters duo, her legacy lives on.